Hey friends, welcome back to the Special Kind of Motherhood podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. I know we're kind of getting into the thick of holiday season and just that busyness. And with that being said, I actually want to talk about how can we actually still prioritize caring for ourselves when we're in kind of the rush and craziness of the holiday season while also still caregiving for our kids, making sure that they're doing well, doing therapies, doing all of these alternative things that we're trying to do for them, whatever it is you're doing. And a lot of times what ends up happening is our own health and caring for ourselves really gets put on the back burner. So in the middle of this crazy holiday season, how and why should we still prioritize caring for ourselves? Let's get started. Hi friend, do you dream of having a garden but you don't know where to start? Do you want to switch to more natural products but feel overwhelmed by all the options? Do you believe that a holistic lifestyle would help your special needs kiddo but you're daunted by all the information out there? Welcome to the Special Kind of Motherhood podcast, where you will learn how to work towards your dream for homesteading, gardening, and holistic living in small, simple steps that won't overwhelm you. Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a wife, Jesus follower, and mom to some amazing kids. As some of my kids began experiencing health struggles and developmental delays, I decided it was time to switch to a holistic lifestyle. I quickly became stressed out and burnt out, feeling like I needed to change everything at once. I finally realized that I had to start making one small change at a time, then build from there. I learned to walk this holistic journey in a way that works for me and my family, without stress or overwhelm or constantly feeling like I wasn't doing enough. If you're ready to hear from another mama who understands what it's like to have no time and who can help you make changes towards better health for your family in a way that works for your specific life, then this is the podcast for you. Pop in your earbuds, reheat your coffee for the third time, and let's do this. Hey friends, I am so glad that you are here with me. If you would love to hear more from me and also find other like-minded mamas who are into healthy living, holistic wellness, also gardening and homesteading, then head over to our free Facebook community and join us there. You can find it at bit.ly/motherhoodcommunity. I can't wait to see you there. All right, friends, I get it. The holiday season is crazy. We can feel so overwhelmed. We can feel like there is not another thing that we can put on our plate. And yet, the idea of caring for ourselves, it honestly can almost seem laughable. Like, there is no way I have to care for my kids. I have to care for my home. I have to buy Christmas gifts and wrap them and plan Christmas dinners, and I have all these extra events that I have to go to, just all the stuff that can really add up. How can we still find time to care for ourselves when we're in this really busy season? And I get it. I understand it can be such a struggle, and it really does require some intentionality. I also think it requires really reframing what we consider caring for ourselves. So, a lot of times what I often, and not as much now, but in the past, have considered caring for myself is like me taking time to go shopping by myself. Not grocery shopping, although that is self-care to me, just going shopping alone. But going and on a shopping trip, like a fun shopping trip, not grocery shopping trip, or taking time to get a hot bath, or going and getting my nails done, or getting my hair done. All of these things that often we think, oh, this must be self-care. And I get it. Whenever you are in the midst of caring for your differently abled child and also juggling holiday stuff and home stuff and all of that, I'm with you. I don't really think that those are priorities either. That's not something that I'm like, oh, at the top of my list, I must take a hot bath or I must get my hair done. So if that's what you're struggling with, I would just want to say I get it, because that's something that I also struggle with. Because if it comes between me getting my hair done or making sure that all of my child's needs are met, obviously I'm going to prioritize their needs being met. And I think that makes logical sense. So I don't really think that that is the self-care that I'm talking about. The self-care that I'm talking about is actually really just caring for your body, stewarding your health and your body well. And how can we do that in the middle of a very busy season? I just think sometimes it does take intentional steps, but it takes small steps, and just one small step moving towards that direction of caring well for our bodies. And I do want to share a little bit about my journey, because I have really been on this journey for the last several years of learning to care for myself, of working towards better health for myself, of really reversing some diseases and different diagnoses that I have had. And I've actually been working towards getting certified as a natural health coach, because this is something I'm very passionate about. I have learned and come to realize the value in really caring for my own health and helping me to feel better and to have energy, and how it helps me to show up as a better mom and a better wife. When we don't feel well, when we have no energy, it is very, very hard to continue the role of mom, wife, caregiver, friend, aunt, all of these different things. It's like pushing a boulder uphill. It feels very hard. And so I've just become so passionate about what are the little things that we can do that will add up over time to help us to really take our life back, to start to feel like us again, to start to understand that we have our own value in our own life and our own health outside of just caring for our kids and making sure that they're okay. That is a very worthy calling. Absolutely. It's something that we should absolutely be putting time and energy into. But when we are all wrapped up in only that, a lot of times our health suffers. And the thing that we often forget is that when we are struggling with our health, when we are struggling with brain fog, when we are struggling with low energy, when we are struggling with feeling tired and bloated all the time, it's really hard for us to show up as the person, the wife, the mom that we really want to be. And so what I have had to realize is that I have to prioritize taking care of myself. Self-care is actually just taking care of myself. It means making sure that I am actually eating, that I'm eating foods that I know are good for my body. So I have an autoimmune disease. I struggle. I can't have gluten. I flare up. I break out in rashes. It's miserable. So part of self-care for me is making sure I don't eat gluten. That means obviously planning ahead a little bit and having some intentionality behind if I'm going to go somewhere. So I'm going to go to a holiday party or whatever. Well, I need to make sure I've created some kind of gluten-free treat that I can also enjoy, still get to have fun with the family, but make sure I'm taking care of myself as well. Because if I am feeling gross, I feel like typically I will start to feel almost like I have a fever or I'm fighting off sickness when I have gluten. So if I've had that, then I'm not going to be able to really enjoy my family when I'm not taking care of myself. So some things that I have found to be really helpful for me along this journey are things like making sure I am balancing my blood sugar. For me, this has been eating enough fats, enough proteins, eating consistently every few hours. I have to make sure I eat. That was such a struggle for me before. I would eat, I would skip, sometimes go 6 hours or more without eating, and then wonder why I was agitated and irritable and hangry. And it's because I was not prioritizing my own health, and everyone else in my home was paying for it. Another great thing is for me, supporting my hormones, making sure that I'm doing all that I can in order to actually support my hormones so that they can function properly. Our hormones play such a big role in our mood and in our energy levels. So doing different things to make sure my hormones were supported has been so helpful. Avoiding foods that I know cause me issues. That's been a big, big thing for me as well. Oats, gluten, those are two big things that I just cannot consume. And so being intentional about avoiding them and giving myself other options that still feel like I get to participate and enjoy life has been hugely beneficial for me as well. And I just want to say, doing these things has really improved our home dynamics. It's improved my energy levels, my relationship with my spouse, my relationship with my kids. I'm a lot kinder. I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot more present and just enjoying myself. I feel like I have the brain capacity to really actually show up how I want to. I've had this opportunity to become certified as a health coach as well. And it's all because I actually decided to start showing up for myself. So often we actually really get lost in caring for our kids. This goes for all moms. We can all fall into this, but especially if you are a mom who has a child that is differently abled, it can be very, very easy to fall into that where we are all consumed by it. And what I have found that has been so helpful for me is really actually finding things that are just for me. So this podcast is an outlet for me. Doing health coaching is an outlet for me. Being able to actually take time to care for my body, that's an outlet for me. And it just helps me to remind myself that I am my own person. And then that helps me to become a more kind and calm mom, a loving wife to my husband as well. And so I just want to ask you, what is something that you need to work on? Or not necessarily work on. I don't want you to think of it like a job that you have to do, but what is one thing that would be super life-giving and really push the needle towards better health for you? You specifically, not just your family, but something that you can do during this very busy holiday season Is it prioritizing sleep? So maybe setting a set time that you go to bed. You create a bedtime routine to help your body unwind. You turn off your phone so you don't have blue light engaging you and increasing your melatonin levels. Is it sleep? Is it possibly avoiding foods that you know aren't good for you? Is it making sure you're getting enough fats, proteins, carbs, all of those things? Is it making sure you're eating enough, that you're eating consistently? Could it be that you need to start to move your body more? What is it that really you feel like, man, when I think about this one area, it's the one thing that I really wish I was doing, that I really feel like would help me to feel more like me, to feel like I have more energy, but I just keep putting it off. I want to ask you, just get to a place where you can sit quietly and really maybe even journal it out. Pray through it. Ask the Lord, why am I not doing this thing? What is the lie that I am telling myself about this thing that keeps me from doing it? Is it that I don't have time? Is it that I have to take care of X, Y, Z instead? Is it that my children need me and so I can't? What is that phrase? And then take it to the Lord and ask Him, is this actually true? And if it's not actually true, what is it that I could do differently to move towards caring for my body well and stewarding the body that you gave me, Lord, stewarding it in a way that is honoring to you, but also it's going to be life-giving to you as an individual. And you'll be surprised at how much it gives back to your family, how much more calm and peaceful your home feels whenever you are actually making time to care for yourself. I hope this has been encouraging to you. I would love to hear from you. You can email me, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram, or you can join us over in our free Facebook community at bit.ly/motherhoodcommunity. And just share with me, what is the one thing that you want to do, that you are going to work on, that is self-care, but really is just caring for yourself and your health? What's the one thing that you're going to focus on even during this very busy season of the holidays and all of that? And I just want to encourage you, it doesn't have to be something major. It could literally just be, and I encourage you actually to make it one small thing. Make it something that is very doable. Make it something that is not overwhelming. Make it something that is easy for you to start and to maintain, because that's where true momentum happens, is when we make that one small change that we can actually stick with, that we actually feel good about, and then we just build from there. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will see you back next time. Hey Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a friend who is wanting to live more holistically without the overwhelm? Also, don't forget to head over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. It blesses and encourages me to know that this show is helping you. All right, friends, it's time for me to go work in the garden and make some homemade bone broth. I will see you back next week.